Welcome to the special discussion on livemin.com. I'm Megasoft Baker. Looks like the bad days for the Indian IT industry are here to stay. After the Satyam scam, the World Bank banned Wipro for 4 years for offering benefits to World Bank officials. And this newly appointed Satyam board met for the first time in Hyderabad today to take some hard calls. Shedding light on both these issues, joining us is Venkatesh Babu from Bangalore, our Bangalore bureau chief. Venkatesh, thank you so much for joining us. For starters, could you give us the highlights of the board meeting in Hyderabad today?
Couple of key decisions have been arrived at by the new three-member board appointed by the government to steer Satyam over hopefully the next few weeks and the next few months. Some of the key decisions are that over the course of the next 48 hours, that Satyam will find a new auditor for itself, try and restate its account books, will also reach out to customers to reassure that a new management is in place, that customers could rest assured that their interests are being taken care of. These were some of the key highlights which the three-member board which met in Hyderabad took some key decisions on.
Right, Venkatesh, and we heard earlier Kamal Nath say that the government may look at bailing out Satyam really. So is this a possibility at all? Are we looking at a government bailout here?
I think that we have to take Kamal Nath's Union Commerce and Industry Minister Kamal Nath's comments with a little bit of perspective, because while the government is going all out to do whatever it can to help Satyam so as to ensure that the Indian IT industry itself doesn't get any kind of a negative mark on it, at the same time one has to realize that Satyam each month requires close to around 500 to 600 crores just in paying its employees. So while the government sure can step in, provide funds to ensure that the company for the moment can continue to function, in the long run the company needs to find the money it requires to keep itself as a going concern. It was reassuring that Deepak Parekh, one of the board members today, came out and said that there is a large amount of receivables on the books of Satyam, that the board is consciously working towards ensuring that some of these receivables turn into cash at the earliest, which will help the company to keep going.
All right. And very little action here from on the auditors, on PricewaterhouseCoopers. Are we looking at any kind of lawsuits being filed, any kind of evidence that is already coming? Could you take us through that?
I think it's a bit premature, because both the ICAI Institute and the relevant government authorities are looking at what role the audit firm Pricewaterhouse played in this entire Satyam saga. While its role continues to be investigated, I think that we need to wait and watch what kind of steps will be eventually taken against Pricewaterhouse. At least all the analysts and industry experts are saying that it would be next to impossible for the management alone to have passed off this kind of mammoth scam over several years without some kind of knowledge by the auditors of the firm. So at this point of time, we will have to wait and watch what kind of steps will be eventually taken against Pricewaterhouse.
Right, so we need some more time there. Moving on to Wipro, another shocker today from the World Bank, 4-year ban. Is this going to harm Wipro's businesses in any way? What kind of a damage are we looking at, if at all?
This was a complete surprise and a shocker to the market. Nobody expected that India's third largest IT company would hide anything in its books, which was very similar to what Satyam had done. But what Wipro has done immediately is become very proactive about the entire issue. They have reached out to media, they have reached out to the market, they have reached out to their employees, they have reached out to their customers, reassured everybody that this was a thing which happened around 8 years back when they listed their ADR on the NYSE. I spoke earlier in the morning to Wipro's co-CEO Girish Paranjape, who assured me that this particular practice of allotting shares to the employees of prospective clients was permitted by SEC. So he said that there has been no illegality as far as Wipro is concerned, that they have taken all adequate measures, whatever was required to comply at that point of time as far as the law was concerned. I don't think that Wipro will see an immediate impact in terms of its business prospects. But sure, the market is worried because of all the bad news surrounding, which was reflected today in Wipro stock, shaving off nearly 10% of its price to end at close to around 227 rupees.
Right, so the timing couldn't have been worse for this news to come. But Venkatesh, is this actually a illegal offering preferential shares anywhere, or is it an ethical issue? What are we looking at here really?
More of a ethical issue on how Indian IT companies conduct their business internationally. While there might not have been strict violation of any law, I think that at some point of time, Indian IT companies will have to realize that they cannot dole out favors to employees of prospective clients to attract business. That is a strict no-no according to international ethical standards, by any standards. So I think that Indian IT companies will be very chary going ahead in the kind of practices which they pursue to attract business going ahead.
Thanks very much, Venkatesh, for joining us. So a double punch for the Indian IT industry. That's all we have time for now. Thank you for joining us.